Good morning, everybody. Welcome back to the installment of Scott's Selections here for Tuesday, November 3rd. We're getting today's play of the day, quick recap of what happened yesterday. We ended up picking up a loss in the Sunday Night Football game with Wayne Gallman over 2.5 receptions. It was available on DraftKings at plus 110. Looked pretty good early. Gallman ended up having a reception in the first quarter. Didn't really get targeted after that. I expected him to get a significantly higher percentage of the snaps. They ended up bringing in Alfred Morris, who, of course, is a veteran, been around the block a few times. Didn't do anything, but they still gave him roughly 3 full drives to work with. So he ended up losing. So Gallman ended up losing some reps on that one, which was rather surprising. But at the end of the day, I ended up picking up a loss there. Pretty intense game, though, late. You had the great drive by Daniel Jones at the end, followed by the 2-point conversion miss, and Tampa ends up winning. Pretty unimpressive, but they ended up getting the job done, which is all that really matters. Now, for the play of the day here on Tuesday, we're going to be doing something that we usually save for later on in the week. We're going to be looking at an NFL look-ahead line here for the upcoming card. Now, I know that some of you might be wondering, well, I usually do that on Wednesday. Why are you doing that now? And the answer is because of the fact that we finally have MAC football going on middle of the week, so there will be a college football play of the day for tomorrow. For today, we're going to be looking at 2 games in the NFL. For the upcoming week. And the first game is going to be on a matchup between the Houston Texans and the Jacksonville Jaguars in what can only be described as a tank bowl, as both teams are currently 1-6. However, Houston has still been relatively competitive lately. I know they ended up losing to Green Bay in pretty disappointing fashion, but Green Bay is also a very solid team. Week before that, they barely lost to the Titans. So Houston has been competitive, to say the least. After Jacksonville ended up beating the Colts in week 1, they have looked like the second worst team in the league behind the Jets. There's really no other way to put it. This Jacksonville team is just awful from top to bottom. Defensively, they're a disaster. Offensively, they're not very good. They have decent receivers, but the issue that you have is that the only player who was really worth anything was Gardner Minshew, because he was actually being, I'd say, a little decent, I think is a fair statement. He wasn't good by any means, but I thought he was pretty decent. And now Minshew's out. They're likely going to be going to rookie Jake Luton to get his first career start in this game. I know Houston's not very good. I know the spread is currently available at 6.5. We're actually going to be doing a 2-team teaser here. We're going to be doing the Texans teased 6 points down to -0.5. I think they'll win this game. I know Houston is definitely not off to the season they wanted to, but Jacksonville has lost by double digits on a regular basis, especially against, I'd say, even slightly below average competition. They lost to Houston by 16 on the road earlier, 3 games ago, lost to Detroit by 18, lost to the Chargers by 10, lost to the Dolphins by 18. They haven't even been close in some of these games. Meanwhile, Houston has actually been competitive. You lose to Pittsburgh by 7, you lose to Minnesota by 8, you lose to Tennessee in overtime. They've been close, but I do think Houston is the much more talented team. So for me, I'm going to go with Houston -0.5 with the teaser, especially with the idea of a rookie quarterback being behind center for Jacksonville. I think that can only go from bad to worse. And the second pick in this 2-pick teaser is going to be on the Panthers and the Chiefs. We're going to be taking the Chiefs tease down from 10.5 to 4.5, and that 2-pick teaser ends up resulting in a -120 payout on FanDuel, a time recording of 1:30 a.m. Eastern Time. Now, a couple reasons why I like the Chiefs in this spot. Now, a lot of people already know the Chiefs, of course, offensively, Patrick Mahomes, phenomenal. They're going to score as many points as they want. That is true. However, the one area that Kansas City has definitely showcased their true skills on now is defensively. They've been really good over the last couple of weeks. And I know that they struggled after getting torched by the Raiders several weeks ago, and people thought that was going to be their Achilles heel, etc. Since then, they gave up 17 points to Buffalo. They gave up 16 points to Denver and 9 points to the Jets. So defensively, they have been picking it up a little bit lately. I know those offenses aren't exactly great, especially with Buffalo now that Josh Allen has pretty much forgotten how to play quarterback. But Carolina, coming off a Thursday night game, really looked awful against Atlanta for a decent portion of it. I know that Teddy Bridgewater got banged up before returning late into the game, but they couldn't do anything offensively. They've lost each of their last 3 games. They've been competitive, but I just don't think this team is very good. The main issue that you have for Carolina is the fact that they just cannot generate a pass rush at all. And I think that's going to be a serious problem, especially with facing Patrick Mahomes, who can torch everybody extremely easily. Looking at the actual numbers for this, Carolina is averaging 1 sack a game, which is tied for the second fewest in the entire league, behind Jacksonville at 0.9. So, or I should say ahead of Jacksonville at 0.9. So Carolina just simply cannot get after the quarterback. Mahomes should have all the time in the world in the pocket in Arrowhead. In Carolina, even though I do think that this team has progressed more than people thought they would have, with Rule in his first season. They might get McCaffrey back as well, which is a bit of a boost. But at the end of the day, Kansas City's defense has been playing extremely well. Carolina's defense is not very good. And Carolina also has serious issues when it comes to getting after the quarterback. So I do think Mahomes should be able to throw for probably around 3 or 4 touchdowns. They'll probably score 30-plus points, and they should be able to win this game pretty easily, or at least by 5 or more points. So once again, the 2-pick teaser here for Tuesday, November 3rd, is going to be on the Texans -0.5 and the Chiefs -4.5. 6-point teaser on FanDuel at -120 payout. That's in this installment of Scott Selections. Good luck to all of you and your respective bets today. Bye, everyone.